Good evening and welcome to the Municipality of Monroeville's regular council meeting for November 13th, 2018. It is approximately 7:05 p.m. Would you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. Roll call, Sharon, please.
Mayor Griesbach,
Here.
Mrs. Gatos.
Here.
Mr. Poach.
Here.
Mr. Harvey.
Here.
Mr. Johns.
Here.
Mr. Ursinko.
Here.
Mr. Duncan.
Here.
Mr. Wilson.
Here.
Mr. Little.
Here.
Mr. Ratcher.
Here.
Ms. Rock.
Here.
Mr. Hugus.
Here.
Mr. Sedlak.
Here.
Mr. Weldon.
Here.
Very good. And a correction on the time. It is actually 7:11 p.m. We're going to open up to our public comment period for proposed agenda items only. This is just for the items that are on the agenda for this evening. Seeing none, I'm going to close that portion, and we have an executive session announcement that council conducted an executive session for personnel and litigation reasons before the budget hearing of November 1st, 2018 from 6 until 7 p.m., prior to the budget hearing and Citizens Night on November 8th, 2018 from 6 until 6:30 p.m., and prior to tonight's council meeting on November 13th, 2018 from 6:40 p.m. until 7 p.m. Council legislative action, if any, shall be taken at the November 13th council meeting. Council, if you would look at your approval of your minutes are in front of you. We had the minutes of Citizens Night meeting of October 4th, the council work session of October 4th, and the regular council meeting of October 9th, all of 2018. We discussed this at our agenda-setting meeting on Thursday. So I'm seeking a motion to approve these minutes.
So moved.
There is a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Roll call, Sharon, please.
Mrs. Gatos.
Aye.
Mr. Poach.
Aye.
Mr. Harvey.
Aye.
Mr. Johns.
Aye.
Mr. Ursinko.
Aye.
Mr. Duncan.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Moving over to your reports of the tax collections. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Second.
There is a motion and a second to approve. Once again, we discussed this on our agenda-setting meeting on Thursday. Any comments, council? Roll call, Sharon, please.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Mr. Duncan.
Aye.
Mr. Ursinko.
Aye.
Mr. Johns.
Aye.
Mr. Harvey.
Aye.
Mr. Poach.
Aye.
Mrs. Gatos.
Aye.
The ayes have it. List of bills and budget transfers in front of you, council. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
There is a motion and a second. Comments? Seeing none, roll call, Sharon, please.
Mrs. Gatos.
Aye.
Mr. Poach.
Aye.
Mr. Harvey.
Aye.
Mr. Johns.
Aye.
Mr. Ursinko.
Aye.
Mr. Duncan.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
The ayes have it. And the payroll report.
Motion.
Second.
There is a motion and a second. Any comments, council? Seeing none, roll call, Sharon, please.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Mr. Duncan.
Aye.
Mr. Ursinko.
Aye.
Mr. Johns.
Aye.
Mr. Harvey.
Aye.
Mr. Poach.
Aye.
Mrs. Gatos.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Moving to our vacancies on boards, commissions, and authorities. Council, it's on the blue sheet in your packet. Mrs. Gatos,
Nothing this evening, I don't, unless,
we'll start with you.
the question.
Yes.
The term would not start till January. I see someone has applied for the library, but that term wouldn't start till January. Wouldn't you would I make the nomination next month and then the appointment be made in January, correct?
I believe you could do either. You could nominate now, well, you could nominate now and appoint whenever.
But you got to make sure the term's available, so you wouldn't really appoint till the January session.
Till January.
Correct, so you don't really nominate till, okay.
No, well, you could nominate this evening. You could appoint in December, or you could appoint in January.
Okay,
Or you could actually appoint somebody else at a later date.
right, okay, so I'll just hold off, that way I'm sure. Okay,
Yes?
thank you.
Mr. Poach, anything this evening?
I do not.
Mr. Harvey?
I have a nomination, but I'm going to wait till December to do it,
Yeah.
Okay.
unless you want me to do it now.
Yeah, do it now, and then we can vote on it in December.
Don't.
Okay,
There is a, yeah, it's,
I want to nominate Robert Micah for the Monroeville Finance Authority.
I will second that.
we have a nomination, a motion and a second to nominate Robert Micah to the Monroe Finance Authority. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
But it's okay.
The ayes have it. Mr. Harvey, do you have anything else this evening?
No.
Mr. Johns?
Nothing, sir.
Mr. Arasinko?
Nothing till December.
Mr. Duncan?
I have nothing.
Very
Oh,
good.
thank you.
Very good, Mr. Wilson. Council, moving over to our consent agenda, we have our new business that we've discussed on Thursday, 18-7-ST Dentistry for Kids. Mr. Little, please.
Yeah, applicant is requesting site plan approval to construct 11,044 square foot commercial building and associated site amenities. The property is identified as parcel 856N294 near the intersection of Monroeville Boulevard and Ivanhoe Drive in the C2 Business Commercial District. Planning Commission recommends approval.
I'll make a motion. To
Second.
approve.
Mrs. Gatos, that's a motion to approve.
Yes, sir.
And we have a second. Any discussion or comments, council? Seeing none, roll call, Sharon, please.
Mrs. Gatos?
Aye.
Mr. Poach?
Aye.
Mr. Harvey?
Aye.
Mr. Johns?
Aye.
Mr. Arasinko?
Aye.
Mr. Duncan?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
The ayes have
sir.
it.
Good luck.
Good luck with your project.
Thank
Good
you.
luck. And we have our next item, 18-3-ST Joseph N. Knapp.
Again.
Mr. Little.
Applicant is requesting site plan approval to construct a 5,606 square foot warehouse building and associated site amenities. The property is known as Lot 1 in the Moya Industrial Park and identified as parcel 741D42H in the M1 Planning Industrial Zoning District. Planning Commission recommends approval.
Shouldn't be any reason not to.
This is in the industrial park off Old Frankstown, correct?
Yes.
I'd make a motion for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for approval. Any discussion, council?
Already did it.
Seeing none, roll call, Sharon, please.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Duncan?
Aye.
Mr. Arasinko?
Aye.
Mr. Johns?
Aye.
Mr. Harvey?
Aye.
Mr. Poach?
Aye.
Mrs. Gatos?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Moving to our resolutions, Mr. Little.
Okay, resolution number one, a resolution authorizing the opening and maintaining of an account in Huntington National Bank for the pollution control and flood reduction fee.
Is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve. Any discussion or comments, council? Roll call, Sharon, please.
Mrs. Gatos?
Aye.
Mr. Poach?
Aye.
Mr. Harvey?
Aye.
Mr. Johns?
Aye.
Mr. Arasinko?
Nay.
Mr. Duncan?
Duncan.
No.
Mr. Wilson?
No.
The ayes have it. 4-3. Mr. Little, second resolution, please.
Okay, a resolution authorizing the execution of a Green Light Go program grant reimbursement agreement with the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania Department of Transportation for the Monroeville Boulevard and Wingate Drive traffic signal replacement project.
Is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
I have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any comments, council? Roll call, Sharon, please.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Duncan?
Aye.
Mr. Arasinko?
Aye.
Mr. Johns?
Aye.
Mr. Harvey?
Aye.
Mr. Poach?
Aye.
Mrs. Gatos?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Mr. Little.
Okay, number three, a resolution adopting the Beasley Plan of Lots Sewage Planning Module.
Refresh my
Motion to
memory.
approve.
One moment, Mr. Harvey. We have a motion to
I'll
approve,
second it.
and there's a second to
Approve.
approve. So discussion
Question, yeah.
and question.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to refresh my memory.
Yeah.
What that was about.
I did too.
Last month, you passed a development behind the Beamsley office building to erect 16 townhouses, Paul?
Oh, yes.
This is
we did.
off of 286.
That's all
Correct.
right.
Oh,
This is the
Yes.
sewage
I remember
planning
now.
board
Yes,
for that-
yes,
for that
yes.
development.
Thank
We just
you.
needed a
I'm
Let
good.
us
update on
know.
the name.
Thank you. I am.
Anything else, council?
Welcome to the party.
There is a motion and a second to approve. Roll call, Sharon, please.
Mrs. Gatos?
Aye.
Mr. Poach?
Aye.
Mr. Harvey?
Aye.
Mr. Johns?
Aye.
Mr. Arasinko?
Aye.
Mr. Duncan?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Mr. Little, our fourth
Okay, number
resolution.
4, a resolution authorizing the Municipality of Monroeville and Turtle Creek Valley Council of Governments to enter into a memorandum of understanding to be active participants in the active shooter training for police. Chief Cole explained this program to council Thursday evening as we have discussed all of these resolutions.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Any comments, council? Roll call, Sharon, please.
Mr. Wilson,
Aye.
Mr. Duncan,
Aye.
Mr. Ursinko.
Aye.
Mr. Johns.
Aye.
Mr. Harvey,
Aye.
Mr. Poach,
Aye.
Mrs. Gatos.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Mr. Little.
Okay, last resolution is a resolution declaring support for the design and construction of the proposed Pennsylvania Turnpike interchange located between exits 57 and 67 of the Turnpike in the vicinity of State Route 130, Penn Township.
Motion to approve.
Second.
There is a motion and a second. Any comments, council? I just have one that I think anytime we improve transportation in the region, particularly out eastward here, that it's a benefit to not only Monroeville, but the whole region. So I think it's a positive thing. Anything else, council?
No, sir.
Roll call, Sharon, please.
Mrs. Gatos.
Aye.
Mr. Poach.
Aye.
Mr. Harvey.
Aye.
Mr. Johns.
Aye.
Mr. Ursinko.
Aye.
Mr. Duncan.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
The ayes have it. And that's all we have for our resolutions. We have one ordinance for this evening. Mr. Ratcher, please.
This is an ordinance of the Municipality of Monroeville repealing ordinance number 2464, 2480, and 2550, and setting forth the requirements for obtaining occupancy permits prior to the transfer of one- and two-family dwelling units, establishing inspection requirements for multifamily dwellings, establishing procedures for obtaining said occupancy permits, and setting fees for said permits. I think this is a housekeeping matter, as was discussed on Thursday, relative to our existing occupancy permit ordinances.
Motion to approve.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any other comments or questions, council? Seeing none, roll call, Sharon, please.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Mr. Duncan.
Aye.
Mr. Ursinko.
Aye.
Mr. Johns.
Aye.
Mr. Harvey.
Aye.
Mr. Poach.
Aye.
Mrs. Gatos.
Aye.
The ayes have it. And we're going to move over to our reports of our municipal staff. Mr. Ratcher,
I have no report, Mayor.
very good. Mr. Little.
Yeah, I have a couple items here. The first one is, I'd like to bring these to the attention of council because we spend approximately $300,000 a year paying for the electricity of streetlights, and we have a petition here at the 4900 block of Old William Penn Highway for the installation of a streetlight. And the petition is from a Paula Cook, and council can read the safety concerns that she brings to you. And I just, I don't know if there's necessarily a motion.
Roughly where is this area, Mr. Little?
4900 Old William Penn Highway, this would be, there's a map and illustration. Okay, yeah, this is down towards Murraysville, which is a service road, is for the a better explanation. If you make a left on McClure and then right by that the medical place there,
It's the
The urgent
section.
care.
The urgent
I'll
care.
give you an assistance here. It's a section of Old William Penn past Rutter's Nursery.
right.
I know.
So after you go to Rutter, you keep going straight.
Yeah,
Right.
up on the top of
I
the hill.
care, I care.
Right,
Thanks, Paul.
You're welcome.
past the entrance to Rutgers. I know what it
Is
is.
that a
Always
dead
good to
end?
have
Oh, good for
professional.
you.
Is that a dead end
I
road?
don't know all this.
Yes, sir. It terminates, there's probably 3 or 4 homes there.
But Tim, since even though it's maybe not a lot of money, I still think we should seek a motion in a second.
Is
Yeah,
there
that's-
none on that road now?
There's,
From council.
I've been up there several times because of rudders and water runoff and whatever, with a couple of residents, and it's really dark.
There's no light on that road at all?
It's really dark.
Wow.
there is, I've been on it as well.
So, folks, Mr. Ursinko, would you like to make a motion to?
Motion to approve.
Second.
A motion and a second.
I don't know. who
Any other
seconded it.
discussion? I'm sorry, Mr. Johns seconded it.
Thank
We had a
you.
motion by Mr. Ursinko and a second by Mr. Johns.
Thank you.
Any other comments, council? Roll call, Sharon, please.
Mrs. Gatos.
Aye.
Mr. Poach.
Aye.
Mr. Harvey.
Aye.
Mr. Johns.
Aye.
Mr. Ursinko.
Aye.
Mr. Duncan.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Very good. The ayes have it. So,
Okay, second item is Edgemead Drive. As most of the council members know, we had a sinkhole done at Edgemead about 2 months ago, and we had to go out for what was called an emergency bid under the purchasing laws of the Commonwealth. And, but I figured I would bring this to council's attention, so it was in the record and in the minutes that the bid was for, I believe it was for $122,000, and they are working down there. I believe they started, was it today, Paul?
No, they started a couple days ago.
A couple days ago, okay. And part of the road, just so you know, on that little section of Edgemead between Meadow Court, I believe it is, Meadow Court.
Meadowdale.
It's being used for a staging area, and we had to make some accommodation for some people there so they could get in and out of their driveways. But being an emergency bid, I just thought I'd get into the record and let council know about it, that we are doing it. And I believe $122,900 was the bid.
Do we know what caused the sinkhole?
Pardon me?
Do we know what caused the sinkhole?
Yeah, Paul, I'll let you explain that.
Oh, it's an older pipe. It's probably 30 years old. It's corrugated metal. They don't have the life expectancy as you would like. It was put in as part of the original development.
Do we plan on updating that area for these corrugated pipes?
I hope to in the future.
We've been saying that for 4 years.
I'm sorry, Stephen.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
We've been saying that for 4 years, going on 5.
Right.
Okay.
Well, MS4 will start to help with that problem, Mr. Wilson.
It's a financial issue.
The MS4 program will start to help with that those problems.
Great, okay, thank you.
But now this has happened,
is-
we have to kind of jump into that to help out.
Okay,
This is
Right
an
now.
example of, if you remember earlier last year, we lined some pipe in Garden City through
Yeah,
Dahlia
right,
Drive
right.
because of the restoration cost.
As a-
If
as
I
a
knew
result of
if
that,
I knew
too.
about this pipe,
Yeah.
I would have done the same thing. It would have saved a lot of money.
Yeah.
But lining's
failed.
not gonna
Right.
strengthen the structure.
Absolutely.
If it's a failed pipe, would lining
No.
help that?
If we could see it being partially collapsed, we could put a liner through it, and it would
We don't
structure.
know that that's.
We didn't know that at
necessarily
the
case.
time, right. Now it's.
We can't do this in-house, correct?
No,
It's
it's
too deep?
very deep,
And what is the diameter?
30 inches.
Okay.
Pipe's about 20 foot deep, 30 inches in diameter and it goes between two houses that are about 23 feet apart.
So you're worried about the dwelling also? the footer
Absolutely.
and Whatnot?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So we have to trench it and shore it and do it safely.
Okay.
But in the future, there is a plan to help those residents and repair the corrugated pipe over there, and replace the corrugated pipe, correct?
Everywhere.
Okay.
I mean, the.
I just wanted to confirm that. That's-
But to those questions, so if we were actually, if these type of lines were inspected and caught early enough, you could line most of them.
Correct. I mean, it's part of the camera operation. You have to go out and camera all these pipes and find them, camera them, establish the condition of each one of them. And it's a time-consuming process.
Everything's going to.
We've actually had employees down in the pipe, walking through the pipe, and with cameras. And they identified it at least 4 years ago, these issues.
That pipe?
Yes.
That pipe, Tom?
Yeah, don't you remember when Jamie was up and down the pipes and?
But not
houses were
that
getting
specific,
flooded?
not that specific.
No, he wasn't in that one.
He
Well,
wasn't
but
in
I'm
that.
just saying, that whole area.
I'd
It
like
was
to
con-
clarify a lining. You know, if a pipe's collapsing in on itself, a liner's not gonna do anything.
Right,
It depends on what portion of it is, Stephen. I mean,
But I mean, if you're losing the integrity of the pipe, a
Right.
liner's not the fix. I
Right.
could see it in a sanitary 4-inch, 6-inch line, but a 30-some-inch line, it's a plastic
it's
liner.
not 30, I
No,
don't-
it gives you structural integrity. If the invert,
point.
if the invert is gone out of it, you can still line a pipe.
are they 30 inches or are they 24 inches?
This one is 30 inches.
Okay, but a lot of them are smaller than what they should have been in the beginning. Is that correct?
It depends on where you're talking about.
I'm talking about Willow Hedge.
That's not what we're talking, we're at Edgemead.
I mean.
We're in a different
Edgemead,
plan.
Edgemead, yeah. Talking about that too.
Well, in this case, this pipe has failed fully.
Yes.
So we have no other option but to
Correct.
dig.
Right,
So
that's
his
that's
point.
good.
Yeah.
It's a
Good
replacement.
to fix it.
And that's what,
I just want to make sure our plans are to fix it,
moving forward.
that's all.
They
Got
are.
it. Very good. Mr. Little?
Okay, next item is Moody's report. As most people know, entities in America, corporations, governments, they get rated for bond ratings, Standard & Poor or Moody's. And Josie, our finance director, and I have had conversations with Moody's over the last 2 weeks about the finances and the economic development in the municipality. And we have some good news here, and we've been upgraded with respect to our rating with Moody's. And I'll basically read the capsule summary. I won't go into the long length of it. But it says, the Municipality of Monroeville, A2 credit profile captures its strong financial position and liquidity levels, along with a very stable and healthy tax base. The AA2 rating reflects the municipality's continued positive trend in reserves, above average wealth levels, and conservative budgeting practices. Also, the rating highlights the municipality's affordable and low debt burden, with no future planned issuance and the modest pension liability. On Monday, October 29th, Moody's upgraded the municipality of Monroeville's general obligation rating from A2 to A3. So we were at A3 back in 2000. We were downgraded to that to the 2 back in 2013. We're now going to be back up. We've been increased. The credit strength, healthy tax base with proximity to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, improved reserve and liquidity levels, along with a trend of strong operating performance and a low debt burden. Credit challenges, mature tax base, above average fixed cost burden, meaning a kind of infrastructure. Rating outlooks, well, that's not typically assigned to local government credits with the amount of debt outstanding, which is ours is very low. Factors that could lead to another upgrade: substantial increase in the tax base, material improvements in the borough's reserves and liquidity, improved socioeconomic metrics. Factors that could lead to a downgrade: significant decline in the tax base or income levels, failure to maintain structurally balanced operations, resulting in draws on reserves beyond what has already been budgeted. So that's the capsule summary of what Moody's has given us, and that is good news. So if we ever do, which I haven't recommended, going out for a bond, our debt service would be lower due to Moody's report right here.
Is it safe to summarize, Tim?
Congratulations,
Yeah,
Josie and Tim.
right. I was going to say, it's safe to summarize A, and
Good job.
also our policies, too.
Correct.
There's a political side of the policies as well as sound financial management administratively. So that
Correct.
summarizes that as well?
Yeah, and as I told the staff at the staff meeting on Monday, I mean, this is a collective effort of everybody, the elected officials, the staff, and everybody that has done for the last 4 or 5 years. And as I've said, you know, the department heads trying the best they can to keep their budgets in line. That's always a very good thing. So we've built up our fund balance, but as I've said for the last 2 years, as everybody knows, we've always got to keep an eye on that, i.e. Edgemede Drive, we have Avers Creek Road, those kind of things crop up every so often. You're gonna have to spend $100,000 here and $100,000 there. Fortunately, we have Avers Creek and we have Edgemede Drive come up. We feel comfortable that we can pay for it. And I want to keep that standard going. Okay.
Great news.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, the next one is also great news too, for you, Nick. Joe, you can put those signs up. We have put up finally the signage to our trail, Westmoreland Heritage Trail signs, which were put on Route 22, heading both eastbound and westbound. And if I'm not mistaken, I think one is going to be near the intersection. I don't know, it may already be up near the high school, Haymaker Road, going down towards, so as you come down Moss side and you're making that soft left to Haymaker, there will be a sign pointing it there, if I'm not mistaken. Is that already up? Does anybody know?
I haven't seen it.
That's 22 going.
I haven't
Yeah,
seen
that's
it.
22 going
I
westbound.
don't know.
I haven't seen it, no.
All right, and the last on my item is the Monroeville Annual Tree Lighting Festivities will be next Tuesday, November the 20th at 7 p.m. at the Old Stone Church. And that concludes my report.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Little. Mr. Hugus, anything for this evening?
No, sir.
Ms. Rock.
Nothing.
I'm going to open up the floor for public comment on any municipal item. Now would be your time if you would like to address council. Seeing none, we're going to close that portion of the meeting. And we'll move over to reports of our elected officials. Mrs. Gatos.
We'll talk about the senior center first. Just a little note, as the weather's starting to get colder, it always reminds me to let everyone know, especially with all the new memberships, that if Gateway School is closed, the center is closed. That's kind of how it works. So just know if they call off school, the senior center is closed. And they're having their fundraiser right now, and it's homemade pizza cookies, $6 a dozen. They come in lemon, orange, or coconut. You have to place your orders by November 21st, so you're running out of time, and pick them up Friday, December 7th. So that's a great thing. And just quickly, I need to wish my son and my father both happy birthdays this month. So, and happy Thanksgiving to everyone, and make sure you look around the table and be grateful for who you have sitting there. So, and happy Thanksgiving to all of you and your families as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And that's it for tonight.
Mr. Poach.
Yes, I did. I do. Thank you, Your Honor. I neglected to bring something up last week, I guess, due to the length, or last meeting, Citizens Night, due to the length of the meeting there, too. So I apologize for this being somewhat a little bit late. And again, in response to the recent tragedy in Squirrel Hill in the city, I wanted to offer a message of hope. And I had neglected to bring this up. Following that awful event, there was the Interfaith Council has done a terrific job in demonstrating humanity and kindness and joint effort in terms of some of their services. I attended a service at Temple David, and Rabbi Simon should be commended too. I'm not sure that I ever would have believed in my years we had in front of us a Lutheran minister there in the dais, a Muslim imam, a Methodist minister as well, all bring messages of peace, and the folks in Monroeville that filled that facility. It was quite terrific. So there is hope out there, folks. And as we move towards Thanksgiving, you're right, Ms. Gatos, happy Thanksgiving to everyone else. And hopefully we'll all have a lot more to give thanks for this year. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you. Mr. Harvey.
The first thing I was going to bring up was the repairs to the Edgemead project are underway, but you already got that, so. You've heard me bring up a couple times that Chief Cole purchasing the digital radar speed warning signs. I've talked to him about that, and I think he's going to wait till the beginning of the budget of 2019, which is okay with me, but I just wanted to give you an update. The deadline for the MS4 artwork emblems up at the Gateway High School is at the end of this week, so the judges should be prepared to go to the high school. I will contact you when those are ready to be looked at. My prayers to the people in Thousand Oaks, California, for the loss of all those people in the bar shooting, including the sheriff who was killed. This comment is happening way too much. I don't know what to do. And last but not least, I wanted to tell the residents, I think the municipality did a poor job educating you on the home rule charter changes that were on the ballot. And the proof in that was the results of the vote. It seems that the public was told that if Section 1 was passed, that it would eliminate the tax office and the municipality would go to a treasurer. Council's always had the option to close the tax office and go to a treasurer since the home rule charter existed. What this section, if passed, would have done was would have made qualifications for that treasurer. It would have made him have minimum education and different qualifications set by whatever council was preparing that change. But it was voted down, so council could still close the tax, any council could still close the tax office, and the treasurer doesn't have to have any qualifications or education. It can be anybody. Just wanted to clear that up, and the other section was Section 6. That also failed. This section was created and defined how residents could recall an elected official or remove an elected official from office. PA Supreme Court ruling stated that the elected office official can only be removed from office by a vote from the PA State Senate. So we were simply asking the residents to remove the illegal section from the Home Rule Charter. It was apparently misunderstood, and it too failed. It's there, it stays there, but it's illegal. You can't follow it. So it is still in the charter, but we can't follow it anyway because there was a Supreme Court ruling that the Senate has to remove elected officials. Other than that, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Please be safe.
Thank you, Mr. Harvey. Mr. Johns?
Yeah, the only thing I'd like to say is a happy Thanksgiving to everybody that's out there and all the folks up here.
Thank you. Mr.
Thank
Arsenko?
you.
Same here, happy Thanksgiving, and I agree with Ron's comments and Eric's as well, so
You
enjoy.
already called it. And
Mr. Duncan?
Yeah, I'd just like to state, my brother-in-law passed away last week, and that's why I was
Anybody that wants to
absent
come up
from the
twice, he
meeting.
said
But
it.
I'd like to thank everybody for their well wishes, for my sister,
You
my
did
family, and my
ask
sister
for
Elva.
anyone to come up twice.
And happy Thanksgiving. That's all I have.
Mr. Wilson?
Thank you, Mayor. I didn't have a chance to comment on the tragedy in Squirrel Hill. To me, it was an act of a coward that attacked unarmed, defenseless people. And please, let's stop this. This has to stop. To the people in the fire in California, God bless you all. The people that were shot at the bar, another terrible tragedy. You can't have these crazy people on the street. We got to do something about it.
What do we do?
Happy Thanksgiving to everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson. And I would just, we had this past weekend, we actually had Veterans Day on Sunday. I just wanted to thank all of our veterans in our community and in our country. We have a few that are in this room, actually. And for them to provide the freedoms that we enjoy here in America. Yes, as Mr. Poach mentioned during his comments, and it was echoed down here by council people. Yes, certainly it was a tragedy that's been happening. And unfortunately, these type of events are what they challenge these freedoms that our veterans have fought so hard for over the years. And one thing Mr. Poach mentioned, the ministerium. I was at a discussion at the library, and one of the comments was about tolerance, and it shouldn't just be about tolerance and tolerating other people's opinions and tolerating people's races and tolerating their religious beliefs, because that's really just you're just tolerating them. You're just barely getting by with them, and it should be more of understanding it, get to know people, treating people with respect, and we can certainly have differences and we can be different people, but that should be it. We should still be accepting of one another and to do it in a positive manner. So, with that, I would wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving, and I would also like to seek a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, and good night.